Everyone, welcome back to coding classes. Today we will learn about Callback Hell, which is also known as Pyramid of Doom. So, what is Callback Hell? Before learning that, we will learn about callbacks. I won't go very deeply into callbacks. So, callbacks are functions which are passed as arguments to other functions, which execute after an asynchronous operation finishes. So, for an example, let's say we have a API, we are calling a API, which basically uh, fetch user details, right? So we can create a function fetch user, and to replicate the behavior of API response, we will create a use set timeout, which basically uh, will be called after 1 second and console log user. So uh, here what we will do is we will take a function, let's call it callback, and this callback will be called when API has returned the response, and in this we will return ID and name John. Then we can update the callback uh, parameters. So here we are calling this function inside fetch user, and that's why this function is called as uh, callback. Here we have a function fetch user. It will fetch user detail, and once we have detail, it will return the user details through the callback function, right? Now we want to understand what is callback hell. Before that, let's write a few more functions. So what we are gonna do in this example is we will fetch user detail, then we will fetch post on that, and then we will fetch comments on that. Okay. Then we have fetch post function, which again is returning the post details. One more thing, so since we want to fetch the post of this user, this function should take user ID. Basically, it's just a mock function, so it's fine. But we can simply log user ID here, fetching post user ID. In the same manner, this one will take post ID. And let's just log fetching comments for this post, right? Now we have three functions. First one is fetching the user details and will return the detail through callback. Second one is fetching the post for that user. And third one is fetching the comments for that post. So now in the end, we want to fetch the comments of that user, right? So first we will be doing the same using uh, callbacks, right? Now, simply to fetch the user, we have to call fetch user. And when we have user, we have we can check what's the response. Let's see. Okay, we have the user details. Now, when we have user details, we will fetch post for that given user ID, and then we will console log post, then we will fetch the comments. Let's see if it works. Yeah, it's working. So we are successfully able to fetch the comments for this user. This is working fine. We don't have any problem in terms of working. However, uh, what are the problems associated with callback health? We have three problems. One is readability. Let's say this keeps growing like this. We had to fetch more details. Then you see this is getting very difficult to read what's happening here. And then second issue would be maintainability. Modifying code with nested callbacks is very tricky. Then there is error handling. Let's say the fetch post, this one is throwing any error. So it would be very difficult to know that from where the error was thrown and how to handle it, right? So now we will try to resolve these three issues. So to resolve the callback hell, we have uh, first solution as uh, promises. We can use promises to simplify it. Let's see. I will comment the code for now. Solution using promises. Okay. Before that, I will have to modify my functions to return promise. I will quickly change it to return new promise, where the where simply instead of calling the callback, I will call resolve of the promise on that, and I will just remove this callback function. We don't need it anymore. Then we will do the same with promises. We don't need to pass callback anymore, and we neither need callback here. Okay, so now our functions are updated. Now what we can do is we can chain our promises to uh, avoid the nested callback things. So what we can do is we can simply again fetch the user details. Then when we have so the then on fetch users will be called when the promise resolve is called. Otherwise, in this example we are not working with reject. So if reject is called, then here uh, catch should have been called. But for now, let's handle then. And then we will have user, and with user we will console log user. And then we would like to return fetch post of user ID, right? Um, it says user. Okay, it's because of the return type. Let's define a type for it. Or maybe just uh, let it be any for now. Okay, let's see what will happen now. We fetch the user detail and we try to fetch the post as well. Now, we can again handle the post here like this, and so on. We can handle the comments as well. So if we run the code again, we can see we are able to fetch user, post, and comments again. However, the approach is different and the code is more clear than before. Now we have avoided deep nesting. We have a chainable then structure, and we have a better error handling as well, which we can do in catch block here if in case there is any error. But still, we have another better approach to do it using async await. So let's go comment this one as well. And the another solution is using async await. To do that, we will write our async function. Let's call it fetch data. Then first we will fetch user, await fetch user, console log user details. Once we have user details, we can simply fetch post using the user ID, then we can console log post, and then we can fetch comments and so on. This is what we were doing earlier also. So this would be the logically this is same as what we did with promises and callbacks. So if I run the code again, using any type is not recommended, but this is not uh, the focus of this video at the moment, so it's fine for now. Now if I run the code, we will get the same logs again. It fetched a user, then based on that user, we fetch the post, then based on that post, we fetch the comments. Now, code is very clean than before, and it is very easy to read. We can maintain it better. Also, the error handling is centralized. Like we can simply use try catch here, like this. Right. So you can see uh, this approach is far better than using callback hell, and this is how we can write the clean code. So the conclusion is callback hell is a common issue in JavaScript when working with asynchronous code, but it's not something you have to live with. We can use promises and async await and can avoid the pyramid of doom. See you next time with a new tutorial. Thank you.